back with Boston Racing and a very profitable day on day 3 of glorious Goodwood. I had a feeling we'd get some winners, and boy did we get them. 5 winners out of the 7, 1 non-runner, which means we had 11 points staked, and I'm sure we ended up in profit. I'll have to work it out at the end of the festival and work out how much we made yesterday, but it was a decent amount, and happy days. Yeah, really happy with that. Moving on to the day 4, it's sort of flown by really, this festival. Again, this card's not as nice as the other one yesterday, and I think it's gonna be a lot more trickier to find profit and find value. But saying that, horse racing's horse racing, and you never know what's going to happen. So let's just crack into it. Hopefully we can get a couple of winners off the bat straight away again. Moving to the first race, the 2.5 mile handicap for 3-year-olds or over, and I like Withhold here. Yeah, this horse definitely has this trip. He can stay the distance, and he actually came second in this last year, which is one of the reasons why I like it. It was on good ground, and he finished quite nicely with Oisin Murphy on board. Now, he's ran over 2 miles quite a few times, and 2 mile 2, and he's disappointed on reappearance this year. But again, it's a horse you can't really not back. He's sort of a hit and miss, and he's got a good chance if he's coming to this with the same sort of form that he had last year. Again, this is probably the target for the yard. It's one that specific horses have their specific targets, and again, if the trainers think this has got a great chance, then it's worth backing. Not too sure why. I'd like to see him a bit shorter, to be honest. Obviously, Rashoon's beaten this horse by 5 lengths over 2 miles last time out. But again, he's losing £2 lower that race. He's £2 higher from that run last year as well. So he's got a good chance in this race, and fingers crossed we can get a decent run with Will Buick on board. Will Buick's obviously flying at the moment, and even more of a reason to back this horse. Moving on to the second race, and there's only one in this one as well I like. That is Berkshire Shadow. It can be a tough one to call, this one. He's obviously this race is obviously the top 3 in the market can win. Even, to be fair, Rocchigiani is worth a punt as well, but I've narrowed it down to just this one horse, and just this one horse only. Again, Berkshire Shadow last year sort of started off the season really well, winning at Ascot, and then he sort of tailed off at Goodwood and York for sure. But he's sort of starting to come back now as a 3-year-old, and I think this is his chance to actually get a win this year. Again, Check and Challenge has been on a bit of a drift recently. I can't really be having him. He's a bit too short. He lost to Sinjaari last time out. He obviously ran in that Guineas race, didn't he? And yeah, disappointed massively. So yeah, I mean, I don't really want to back him. He's into this sort of similar sort of group company, isn't he? And he disappointed, so that's one to not back. Bayside Boy again is a horse that's definitely flopped recently. Again, looked really good as a 2-year-old, and then sort of disappointed coming up as a 3-year-old. So another one I'm not too sure about. Again, yes, he looked like he needed more room last time out over at Ascot in the St James's Palace Stakes, and he looked like he was going to actually beat Berkshire Shadow. However, I just don't think I can see it happening. Berkshire Shadow is the one for me in this race. Again, worth a mention of Rocchigiani at 5 to 1. Runner-up in the German Guineas, a length and a half behind Maljume, and obviously Maljume's had a decent run over at Ascot, didn't he? He should have won, really. He should have beat Caribus. So again, there's a bit of form there. Rocchigiani is definitely worth a punt if you're feeling it. He is 5 to 1. And in fact, I will be tipping him, Rocchigiani. It feels like the market is quite weak in the top, and this horse has definitely got a chance. So we'll tip him. I have backed it, and I guess 5 to 1 is quite big. And finishing a length behind Maljoom is excellent pieces of form. So we'll see what happens. So Berkshire Shadow and Rocchigiani are the two I like. More favouring Berkshire Shadow over Rocchigiani as my tip of the race. But again, it's worth just to spread your money and guarantee yourself profit if one of those two win. Okay, moving on to the third race. And that is the Golden Mile Handicap. 3 horses in here that I like. The first one is the favourite. Again, it's very, very nice form. On debut, won very, very nicely, winning by 2 lengths over at Newmarket. And again, no reason to suggest this horse can't go well. Also has got existing £3 to claim, and he's also not taken the penalty, so he should be rated a lot higher instead, but he's not. So again, he should be off a higher weight, and he's not, which is a very good thing. And again, this one will go close. He'll definitely be in the top 3, 4 for sure. That's whether he wins, and I think he's got a great chance of winning. And as I said, Will Burek and Appleby have been on fire recently, so no reason to suggest why they won't win. The other 2 I like at places is Lawful Command and Sinjaari, 12 to 1 each of them. We'll go with Sinjaari first. Sinjaari came 5th in the Royal Hunt Cup. I like that beast of form, but in the penultimate race, and then he's gone and beat Check and Challenge. Obviously the horse that was in the race before. And yeah, I think that's a nice piece of form. Again, he's off a mark of 108, but there's no reason to suggest why this horse can't go forward. Off a mark of 108, he's workmanship-like. He's very, very good as Sinjaari. He's going to be off a top weight, but it's no reason to say why he can't go and win. And yeah, I'm hoping for a decent run. Again, Kieran Schumacher is a decent jockey. He's going to want to win this festival, like Lady Beaufort last year. This is his good chance to win. And again, yeah, just the price is too big, even if he is that sort of top weight area. It doesn't matter because he's got the quality. I said Lawful Command finished 3 lengths behind Jimi Hendrix. He's running in this race. Again, nice bit of form. A horse that's sort of not really picked up recently, other than the 2 wins at Goodwood. So he's got course and distance form. And they're finishing 5th behind Thesis. It was quite nice at Ascot. And if he can sort of bounce back to that sort of Goodwood form, then this is horse definitely to have a punt on. He keeps going up in the ratings. Not long ago, in October last year, he was only rated 71. He's now rated 91. He's off a low mark here, weighing only 8 stone 3. So there's definite chances for improvement. The class is going to be a bit difficult though. He has been running in class 2s, obviously. However, there's a lot of better, higher rated horses in here that it's going to be challenging for him to actually win. So it would be very impressive if Lawful Command can go and win. Same with Sinjaari off a top weight. Again, both have got it in them to reproduce their forms, and there's no reason why they can't do it. So 12 to 1 each for those 2, and 11 to 4 for Noble Dynasty. Looks like majority of firms are offering 12 to 1 on Lawful Command, and only 365 and Ladbrokes are offering 12 to 1 on the Sinjaari. 11 to 4 with Bet365 and Paddy Power. Okay, moving to the feature race of the day, the 335, and that is the QATAR Stakes. Only one in this race as well. Again, I think this is a bit of value. So Acklam Express is a horse that I feel like it is too short. However, you can't really can't really go against the race. It's ran in the last time out over Ascot in the King stand. Again, finished third, 5 lengths behind Nature's Strip. Again, 200 to 1. It's one of those things where, is it like Hugh where it's just fluke the run, or is it actually a decent horse that will sort of show its form to date? This horse has, in fact, lost to Lazuli, who's in this race as well, which is quite interesting. But that was over in Meydan, so on the dirt. So this is back on turf. I mean, realistically, I think it is a good horse. It's a tough one to put whether the market is overpriced or underpriced on this thing. I think if a horse that was, say, well fancied for the King stand, finishing third, probably would go for at around about 6 to 4, 7 to 4 for this race. Just because, again, it's no fluke if it was at 5 to 1. But this thing was 200s, and I don't know if it could repeat the form. I do think it's got the best form out of the lot though, and that's why I'm going to take a punt on him. Just backing this straight to win, and I'm just hoping for the best, to be honest. 6 to 1, yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, I've got no real opinion on the race. The Razel and Mitsbahi, I probably wouldn't back. I feel it's a bit too short. And yeah, just left me with Acklam Express. 6s with 365, Paddy Power, Betfair and William Hill at the current time of recording. Okay, moving to the 410. And 2 in here I like again. The Godolphin again, favourite. Revel's Romance. Just back this to win, you get your money back. As we've got another selection in here. Again, won very, very nicely up in trip over 12 furlongs. Disappointed over in Meydan, but looks like a real sort now. Back on turf. And again, no reason to suggest why this horse can't progress. I think there's a great chance for Burek here. And this will just consolidate him winning champion jockey for the festival. The other horse is Regal Reality. Again, this horse is hinted at the trip of 1 mile 4. Again, the difference between 1 mile 2, a mile and 1 mile 4 is actually quite big. You see it all the time where you see typical mile horses thinking they can go up to a mile 4, getting backed in, and then just having nothing coming to the 2 out, and it becomes very disappointing. Again, this horse is a bit too big though. He's a dual Group 1 winner from last year. He's not really hinted of a sort of a return back to form this year, but he is 7, and again, 7-year-olds are 7-year-olds. They're getting old, but it is worth a punt. 6 to 1 is a bit big, and just backing this straight means you get money back if Rebels wins, and Regal Reality wins, you make decent profit. So I think those are the ones to take out of the race. I can't really see anything else coming anywhere near. Designated Encounter was an interesting one. Global Storm's a bit too big in my opinion. He should be about 12s, 14s. Again, ran over Meydan, disappointing quite a few times, and then ran over York and Newmarket and finished 4th and 3rd. So definitely one to not touch really. Anyway, so let's move on to the next race, the penultimate race of the day. And I've got 2 in here, actually 3 in here. I forgot about this horse at the end. So I've got Felix Natalis, again, weighted very, very, very low. Won very, very impressive last time out, off a decent mark, and Hayley Turner's chance to actually win at the festival. Yeah, got a really, really nice chance. It's one of those where it either wins really, really nicely, or just couldn't come anywhere. Again, you never know. The switch might finally clicked for Felix Natalis, and yeah, it's good value anyway. It's a mark of 71 compared to the others, which are like 85 and 90. So we take those. The other one is Remarkable Force. Rowan Scott on board. Again, a horse that's not really in the greatest of forms recently, and he's kind of expecting this horse to sort of bounce back. However, I really liked its run over 5 furlongs on its debut and the race after. And it was very disappointing when it raced against Rocket Rodney. Now, again, given a mark of 90, he's gone up £2 for that run over at Sandown. It makes me suggest that, you know, it's still a decent horse, and the handicapper likes the time form and the time figures for the race. So again, up £2 for that run. So it must have performed decently, and again, worth a punt at 16s. And the other horse that I like is Blatant. Blatant's a nice horse. He's got decent form. He's done all right in these sort of big runner races. Again, there's 16 horses running here. 20 to 1 seems a bit too big. Again, with 365, the only place that are offering 20s is 365. Everywhere else is 16s and 14s bar, so it is value. And I think Blatant could run a really good race. Again, at £4 to that previous run, winning a neck in ahead of Far Shot, who ran yesterday. He ran all right. Again, worth a punt at least. Moving to the last race of the day, and it is the handicap, Oliver Brown handicap, 1 mile 3. There's 2 in here I like each way. We're going to go with the first one, which is Paradias, with James Doyle and Alan King. Again, the horse has hinted the trip of going up, and it was disappointing last time out over 1 mile 2. The soft ground probably didn't suit, and he probably likes the firmer ground. Again, proof of that is his run over Sandown, finishing 3rd out of 4, finishing 1 length behind Warhorse. Again, disappointing run again, but this horse has hinted the step up and trip will suit. And again, there's no reason to suggest why this horse can't run a decent race up to 1 mile and 3. The other one I like is Night of Luxury with Saib bin Saror. Again, decent form behind Whisper. The form sort of boosted. Finished 3 lengths behind V-Sight in the penultimate race over a mile 1. But it looks like that the trip of over a mile, it doesn't really suit. He's got more stamina, and the pedigree suggests the stamina is there. So I can't really see why he's been run over a mile. Again, he's got the best form over mile 2, a mile, well, potentially mile 3 coming up to this race. And it's worth a bet because it should be a lot shorter. 10 to 1 is a bit too big. As I said, finished behind Whisper, and that's nice piece of form. Just because he's entered into a decent race, and Whisper on the penultimate race won by 6 odd lengths, and the form sort of worked out there if you go back through it. So there is a bit of form there to look at how Whisper's run the race before, and horses that have won in that race have gone on to win again. So again, a bit of form boosting here and there. As I said, Night of Luxury at 10 to 1 seems too big, well overpriced. Danny Tubtope's a great ride at the moment. Saib bin Saror's had some decent horses this festival, and again, worth a punt at least at 10 to 1. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoy. Fingers crossed for a day in profit again. It's going to be harder to actually get winners today, or at least end up in profit. It's a lot tougher card than it was yesterday, and I feel like the bookies will be liking today as it's their chance to make their money back. Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow, the last day of Goodwood, and potentially tipping up as few in Newmarket as well. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow, and fingers crossed for a good day. Let's go.